Hi everybody and welcome to my video. I am sorry about the appearance, but today I am going to be testing out some makeup or doing a look that I did the other day. I posted it on Instagram. I don't know if anybody got the cryptic clue, but basically on that post put, "Hi, how are you?" And of course that was in reference to the Jeffree Star Shane Dawson collab eyeshadow palettes. So I ordered these from Beautylish. They did have, unfortunately, was like duties and taxes on, whereas the last time that I bought the Jawbreaker they didn't have it on, so it worked out the same price as the UK. They did take, I think it was 15 days to get here, which was absolutely fine. I wasn't in a hurry. I couldn't get them on Beauty Bay because Beauty Bay crashed immediately. Beautylish had kind of been stalking the site. I'd had the site open all day. I don't know if that made any kind of a difference that it was sitting open and I was active on the site, but I'd left that open and basically it did crash. I had some issues, got it in the basket, issues checking out, but eventually did, and I did a buy now pay later kind of scheme. I don't know if it's Klarna with them, but it's certainly one of those. So I am working now, even though I'm still a student, but I definitely was not going to miss out on this particular palette because I love Jeffree Star's eyeshadows and I was excited that he was bringing out something new. So I got the bundle deal and I think it works out at 66 for the two, and yeah, so shipping is free. But that does include like all kind of customs duties and taxes. So it was really good because once things reach customs, you can get a hefty charge, particularly if you've paid more than, I think it's over £14 or over £16, I can't remember exactly which, but then you start paying a customs charge. And the thing is, for the customs charges, it's really annoying. I think there's about an £8 Royal Mail tag in there, just for them to have looked at it and said, that's customs and we're going to put a card in the post. So it's very, very annoying. It doesn't even cost them to put anything in the post because the Royal Mailman, the postman, actually posts it through, so it doesn't even cost postage. So it's quite annoying that there's that big tag on there. They must be making a hell of a lot of money out customs because everything just seems to be hitting customs, and particularly in the past year. Anyway, so I got these, but the good thing about it is you don't get a customs charge, so you know that's really good, and you can track it. So you can basically track as it goes across the US, as it goes and it gets shipped there, and then as it comes in this country. So the mini controversy, I'm going to put a photograph in. I mean, oh actually I don't need to, you can actually see. Look how rainbow that is, the holographic on this. Beautiful. I really, really enjoy the packaging. It's nice and just the black and white's really quite sleek, and I do like that kind of TV interference on it. And this is what it looks like. And I have done some tiny little swatches out the corner of these shadows, but I will swatch everything today at the end of the video, so if anybody's interested, the swatches will be at the end of the video. They have really nice names. I like Shane Dawson. To be honest, I've only really kind of paid much interest in Shane in the past year or so, and that's because I really have enjoyed his documentaries. I really like the Eugenia Cooney one, and I really like the stuff that he did with Graveyard Girl, and obviously I'd seen the stuff that he'd done with Jeffree before. So I do like Shane, but I'm more here for, I am more here for Jeffree, if I'm entirely honest. His eyeshadows are just amazing. So these two eyeshadow palettes take it up to 10 palettes. I do have all of his eyeshadow palettes. You can't beat his eyeshadow quality. I mean, the thing is, it'd be so easy for somebody like him to just kind of put something out and just throw it out and be like, it doesn't matter if it's great quality, people are going to buy it. The thing with Jeffree is he has very high standards, and he wants to release things that people are going to get and be like, wow, this is amazing quality, and they're going to continue to want to be a customer because brilliant quality. And obviously the quality of the palettes themselves, they're really beautiful quality. This is, you know, it's shiny, it's got that lovely holographic, it's got the raised letters. It's not just a cheap tatty piece of cardboard with a standard insert. It's nice. It's got a mirror inside. Not all palettes do. Some companies save money by not putting that in there. So I do feel like he does put a lot into this. So I appreciate that. This palette, I wouldn't say it absolutely blows me away with the colours. I do like this really bright blue. I will say that I could have omitted one of these two and had that really bright green. I do apologise if you can hear my dogs in the background. They are being fed or waiting to be fed, so our German Shepherd is very vocal, so I apologise. So I kind of do wish that that green was in here because it was the most beautiful, bright, foiled green. I hope he's going to put that in a palette in the future. That would be really cool. So in here, you have got your transition shade. I get where they're coming from in here. You've got highlight shades, you've got like a base shade for me, and then other colours. So I do think it's nice. It's not my favourite that he's ever released. And I guess that kind of also goes for the Conspiracy palette as well. I'm going to put some photographs in of the packaging. You've seen it everywhere by now. I am way behind on showing anybody this, but I just did want to use it today and chat about it. The packaging is lovely. Of course, he loves to go for these box styles with the metal clips on. It's really heavy and substantial, and it's got this metal SD in the middle. It is metal. It's really nice. Just says Conspiracy, and it's a really nice kind of shape as well. I really appreciate the packaging. It's matte with a shiny, does attract fingerprints, but to be fair, I just kind of like, I don't know, I switch off when people start talking about, oh, it's fingerprinty. When you've got makeup on your hands, that's going to leave a mark on anything no matter what. You tell me the packaging that's like Teflon and nothing sticks to it, because no matter whether it's kind of the velvety or it's that matte NARS type texture, you're going to get fingerprints on it if you've got makeup on your hands. I always wipe my hands in between applications, so when I put my foundation on, wipe my hands off so I haven't got any of that on there, so I can try and keep things as clean as possible. But if you are a person who's very hands-on and makeup and you're not doing that, it's going to get makeup on, but it wipes off. So what the hell. So let's open it up. So of course you've got the mirror in here, which is a really good size and a nice quality mirror. And these are the shades. I appreciate the nice matte black packaging because it doesn't blind when it's on camera. This is really beautiful. I do think that the bright green would also have looked quite nice in here. I really like it. It's not my favourite colour story from Jeffree, I will say that. But of course this is very much about Shane as well, and about the fact that he's really quite new to makeup and quite neutral. So I get that. Yes, he is playing with colour, but you know, that comes with time. So he's kind of put a lot of stuff in here that's kind of very him. I do feel like you've got the very neutral raw, the nice bright raw, and then a very smoky raw, so I do appreciate that. The look that I did the other day that was on Instagram was these two colours here. Immediately when I saw these colours being shown, those are the two that I thought, yeah, those two need to go together. So I was really excited about those two particularly. Some people have said they don't think this blue fits, but I think it does. The blue and this kind of green, I think they do go quite nicely together, and it makes this quite a cool toned kind of raw. I have worn all of the top row so far except this one. I've worn this green, this pink, the red, a bit of the orange, and on the bottom I've worn the silver and all of those. I've worn a lot of them so far. So yes, I was very excited and I couldn't wait to be playing with that palette. I don't have the best of bases on today, but it's just a little bit of light foundation for coverage and some powder, just because I wanted to be able to put it on and so you can see how it applies also. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply the base. This is the Revolution one. I love this one. This is the Prime and Lock Eye Base. So I'm just going to pop a little dot of that on. Basically, the reason my base is not that great is we got up and realised we wanted to go out and get some bits and pieces, some food, and I got ready in, I think it was 7-8 minutes, so I was out of the house, and that was from pyjamas. So yeah, I just quickly put a base on to cover my redness. I have rosacea and spots as well, so you can see a little bit of redness on my nose and around there. I do have a breakout here. So I apologise for that, but that's not what this video is about. As I will say in all of my makeup videos, I'm not here to be a makeup artist or have the most professional makeup. I'm here to play with the makeup and enjoy it. So if you like that too and you're not the best, then this is the right place for you. I'm not making tutorials. But she is an idol of mine. I think she's amazing. So anyway, stop waffling, Lisa. We're going to start with, and I haven't got my glasses on, so that's a great start, isn't it, really? Did you hear the northern come out there? Me. Right, we're going to put Tannic on in the crease, and then a little bit of Diet Root Beer. But first of all, I'm going to lay down this colour, which is my Pills. So that's just a nice, it's a bit darker than my skin tone, but it's just quite a nice little shade to put down as a base colour. So I just want to get quite a dense brush for that. Just going to pop that on all over. It's just quite nice to have a shadow to put them on because I just find that they do blend better. So that done, we can go straight into Tannic on. Tannic on is just like a really, really nice crease colour. It's warm though. I really would have appreciated, instead of having one thing that I'm not a huge fan of though, however, I will say, and it was the same for Jawbreaker and Mini Breaker, I don't like that one of the shades is repeated or if there's any repeats. I would like the mini palette to have all different shades to the large palette, because if the repeat is an amazing shade that you're just going to use loads, great, but if it's not, then you've got two of them. So for me, Diet Root Beer is nice, but I just would have preferred, I think in the other one, maybe a cooler toned kind of crease colour if they were going to put one in there. Right, so Not a Fact was in the crease, Illuminati was on the lid, and then I did put a slight bit of Conspiracy in the centre just as a brightness, and then Ranch on the inner eye corner. This big brush. I find to get the density it's nice to use, this is a very kind of like dense eyeshadow brush. This is actually a little Avon eyeshadow brush, and it just means you can kind of stamp and blend, and if you can see the colour payoff is really nice. So I consider myself very lucky I was able to get this. Beautylish though, although it was kind of difficult, it didn't, I think it did go down at one point, but it wasn't too bad to be fair. Although it was glitchy and it took some time to get it in the basket, then took some time to get to checkout, I was able to do it, whereas the other sites I was just refreshing and nothing was happening. Basically they just weren't coming up at all. I think a lot of people were interested in this because obviously Shane's got a lot of fans, and I think some of the Shane fans were like, I don't wear makeup but I want to support Shane and I want to like own this because you know, it's got Shane's name on it, and I totally get that. I've actually put a bit more Tanacon on than I did the other day, which it's okay, it's just a bit more. I'm going to put Illuminati on a nice flat shader brush, and I'm not going to put anything on. A lot of people are like, oh, I need to put concealer on, I need to do this. I just think that's such an unnecessary step sometimes, particularly when you've got a really great shade like this one, where as you can see the coverage is just there immediately. So I don't need to put something on underneath that to get great payoff. You can see it's really, really nice. And look at these colours together. I mean, I know it's giving me Nightmare on Elm Street vibes, and perhaps that is partially why I like these two colours together, but I do like it. I think it's really nice. And then the other thing that I did was I took a little bit of a little bit of Conspiracy and just popped that in the centre of the eye. Can you see how that just brightens that up? Just right in the centre. Really nice flash of bright green there. So yeah, I really like that. So that's what I did the other day. Like I said, I put a bit more of the Tanacon shade on today. It's okay though, it's fine. So what I want to do now is I'm going to do the other eye very quickly with those two greens. Would anybody else, I mean, I'm a horror fan, can you tell? I'd love him to do some sort of a Halloween collection, because LA Splash did their palette and it was very nice, but it was kind of quite grungy and not the most wearable of colours at times together in that palette. And I'd love to see Jeffree do one in this format, whether it be a coffin, which would just look amazing, but kind of he does these colours so well. So if he had some bright reds and greens and purples, great. But then if he had black, some silvers and some whites, and then he had these kind of more grungy colours like these, which he does so fantastically, with like the burgundy and the dark green, I think it'd just be really, really nice. So I'd love to see him do that. I think there's a lot of us out there who do like that and do like those kinds of makeups and those colours. We're not always represented in the makeup community, which is why it was great when he brought Blue Blood out, because blue's not a colour that's overly represented in the makeup community. So it was just quite nice to see somebody do a whole palette of it. And of course a couple of people have jumped on the bandwagon now. I think Tarte did an all blue one, and of course Revolution copy everything that has any kind of success, which I'm not necessarily saying is actually a bad thing. It's not. It's just, you know, I know they're kind of providing it to the people that can't afford to keep up with all of the higher end palettes, but in the same instance I just sometimes get a bit, you know, it's like they're riding on other people's coattails all the time. Does that make sense? It's not sour grapes, it's just, you know, it's kind of true. Oh, that's been successful, let us do that. I don't know. That was juicy. A whole bunch of people probably clicked unsubscribe. But on this channel we keep it real and we talk about what we feel and what we think, and is that not the case? Some brands do that and that's okay. I'm not saying that's necessarily something they shouldn't do. I just kind of feel like that sometimes. I do have a little bit of fallout here, but we're not going to worry because I'm not going anywhere. I'm just running that and the burgundy shade underneath the eye. Going to take a Conspiracy because I just like that here. That's pretty. But look at that. I mean, it's a beautiful inner eye. It's so bright. So I have been loving wearing this. I don't always do a bright inner eye. I'm going to get some liner. I'm actually going to use the Raw Dial today because I have been using this one from the Glossy Box, but I just find sometimes that it's, I don't know whether it's because it's cold, but this just doesn't seem as smooth at times and I just feel like it drags a bit in the eye. So, and I almost did a video on Glossy Box this month, and the face it should have, if you've watched my video about kind of me. This pencil can be, this is a Glossy Box item. And it can be quite smudgy, but if you really like that kind of smudgy black, that kind of smokes out and it's got a very grungy look. Sorry if I'm in front of my face there. But if you do like that, this Raw Dial pencil is really nice. The thing with Jeffree that you just can't deny is those shadows have just gone on really beautifully, blended really nice. You can't fault him for that. It's just, the quality is amazing. I'm going to use one of my Morphe Chatelaine Hill ones for the ranch. Just because this brush is just really, really nice. Oh, I'm not going to use Ranch. It's Conspiracy. Because this is so small, it's just such a lovely, precise brush. Just gets right where you want it to be. And excuse my eyes are a little bit red. I got some shampoo in them last night, some conditioner, some treatment, and they're still a little red today and a bit sore. A little bit of mascara on. I might just go in a bit more with a bit more of that burgundy. Just deepen that up a bit. And that is basically it, but I'm going to try today something I didn't do the other day, and I'm just going to take a bit of the black, which is Where's My Ride. I'm just going to pop a bit of that in to the corner, because I've not used it a bit as a liner the other day. Yeah, it's very dramatic. It has got some fallout there though. Something I will say, if you don't have this and you think about getting this, they are quite powdery. Sorry, my camera cut out there. I don't even remember what I was saying. But yes, that gives quite a nice, there's a nice blend there with the green on the bottom. So that's Conspiracy there, and that's in the centre of the lid. I think it looks really, really nice. I love these colours together. The thing about Jeffree shadows, they blend so beautifully. They're so incredibly pigmented. I've only had a problem with, like, I'd want to say one or two. I've never really had a problem with Jeffree's eyeshadows, which is great. They do kick back a lot of powder, I will say that, but that's because they're so pigmented, and it's okay as long as you're gentle with your brush. You won't get too much mess and you can just blow it away anyway, so that doesn't bother me either. Packaging and powderiness, not a problem. That means that they're just really nicely packed, and or they're quite soft, or they're really very pigmented. I'm going to put this lipstick on that was from Latest in Beauty. I honestly can't remember the brand, but the colour is very dark and vampy. I've swatched it but not worn it. Application, not the best, but that's okay. Like I said, we're not here for that today. We're here to talk about the performance of the shadows. I'm going to pop this down. Quite so crazy. But yeah, that's basically the look that I did the other day. And I really, really liked how it turned out. There's, like I said, pictures on Instagram. I haven't really done any blush or highlight there, but this, like I said today, was about talking about the palette. And great quality eyeshadows, like I said. Powdery, yes, but that's okay. Just have a light hand with them. Nice mix in here for somebody who is kind of wanting to try out some colour, but also is not too into colour, if you know what I mean. I mean, for me, I love a colourful palette. I'm really more about the colourful palette. Lots of colour. I like to put colours in the crease. I don't need a neutral. So I'm a colourful kind of girl. So neutral palettes, I don't honestly have very many of them. I've got the first couple of Naked palettes. I honestly want to say that those probably are my only neutrals. I have old Urban Decay ones that have a mix of colour and neutral. But I'm very much about the bright colours. For me, you've got this very nice, very simple neutral row. This is quite neutral for me because it's just a very soft blue. You've got a silver there, and this colour is actually very nice. And then you've got a black for liner, which is great. So that gives you these two kind of more vampy colours. Again, great for liner. So if you're just trying colour, these are quite nice to just do a nice light smoking under the eye. And nothing too dramatic. And then you've got your colourful one in the middle. Pigment would probably make quite a nice blush. And then this green's nothing too strong either, so you've just got these ones here that are your strong colours. So I feel like in here, I think this is really great for people who are starting out or don't wear too much colour, because there's a lot in there that you could wear. Pigment is like quite soft, so there's most of what is in here is probably quite wearable for you. So I think on that side of things, I do think it screams more Shane, just because I do think it is a little safer than Jeffree would tend to go. For reference, this was Jawbreaker, which, yeah, that's not safe. It is beautiful. It is very used and very loved. I absolutely love this one. And of course, Blue Blood, which is, again, just well loved. I love this palette so much. Oh, that crown's nearly all gone, I just noticed. Yeah, so Jeffree's packaging, Jeffree's eyeshadows are always totally amazing. This was the Mini Breaker. I think this has got 2 repeated shades. Don't mind quite so much of this one because this is kind of a colour story with a few other pops of other stuff in there, and I do reach for this one quite a lot on its own. But for me, this is more Jeffree, because he is out there and does things that are quite different that nobody else is doing. And this definitely says to me that Shane has had his mark, his huge impact, and it's mostly him in here, which I think is great, because this is not Jeffree saying, hey, let's put your name in this and sell this and we'll sell this together and make money. Yes, they're going to make money or whatever, but I think it was very much, you can see that this is actually influenced by the person. Like when Kim Kardashian and her makeup artist did a palette and it was all neutrals with one pop of colour. It was like, oh, that's not very exciting, but that's the kind of makeup that Kim wears. Kim doesn't wear a lot of colourful makeup, so I do think it's nice sometimes. Tatty's eyeshadow palette, I do think some of the colours in there are really nice, and I'd like to get it for those, but it's just not worth it for me because most of it is very neutral, and it's just not something I wear, but it's very Tatty. That's what Tatty wears, and when people bring out makeup eyeshadow palette, I like to support the people who I really do love. If Nikki Tutorials were on out, that would be amazing. I mean, on her own, not the Too Faced debacle that happened. But I just do think that this kind of screams, I'm starting out with makeup and these are colours I like. This kind of just says to me that this was made by that person, and I really like that. So yes, not my favourite, but have been reaching for it since I got it a lot. So I am utilising it. I did a really nice look yesterday and I used pigment in the crease. I added a bit of this one in at the end. I'm not used to all the names yet, guys, so I do apologise. Flamin' Hot. Then I used a bit of this yellow. Food Videos in the eye and Cheese Dust underneath, and this on the lid as well with a little bit of that to highlight it, and Ranch and Pills underneath. So I do use a lot of colours. When I use Jeffree's palettes, I do tend to put quite a lot of colour into it, but you can't just basically do... If you've ever seen on my channel the Blue Blood, my go-to Blue Blood palette look, with that one, it's basically mainly 2 colours, which is Celebrity Skin and Ice Tray on the lid. I absolutely love that combo. And then I use Cullinan as a highlight. So, yeah, sometimes you can just use 1 or 2, but sometimes I just feel like using a whole bunch of them all at once. So, But I wear a different eye look every day, and I wear a different palette every day. But the Conspiracy palette for me, it's a little more on the neutral side than I would normally wear, but it hasn't stopped me using it and kind of working with it and finding ways to make it really work for me. This wasn't great on the lid, I will say. This one wasn't very foiled at all, and I could have done without that one. So I think if you took those two out and put something else there, I think it would have been perfect, but I get it. I've waffled on for far too much. I'm going to do some swatches now. I'm just going to swatch on my arm, guys, and let you see here. And I've not swatched these either, so this will be really nice. Although I have used, like I said, most of this Conspiracy palette now. I haven't actually swatched these properly. I'm just going to swatch them with my finger on bare skin. It's not indicative of how they perform on the eye, because there is a palette in the there's a colour in the Jawbreaker palette. Swatch is quite nice, but it's hard on the eye. It doesn't perform very well at all. Right, so we've got Flat Earth, Cry on My Couch, and My Boyfriend's Purse. My boyfriend's purse? Yeah, I really love these top three. I think they're really, really pretty. I actually really like this baby blue. I think it's absolutely stunning. Oh, it hurts my heart that it kind of takes the print off slightly. Right, we'll do these on the back of my hand actually, because this is a mini palette, so I've got a bit more room there. Right, so that's them there. Flat Earth, Cry on My Couch, My Boyfriend's Purse. So Flat Earth is actually a really beautiful baby blue. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's really soft. I love it. Cry on My Couch is kind of a neutral shade. And then My Boyfriend's Purse is just a really nice soft gold. It's kind of like Interstellar, but just not as amped up. So I absolutely love the top row. I think it's stunning. The next row, Controversy, Diet Root Beer, My Apology. Not the most massive fan of this. I love the purple. I didn't need Diet Root Beer again. I'd rather would have had something else there. And My Apology, not a huge fan of that either, but it's okay. It's just another one of those kinds of shades. I will try and use it somewhere, but as you can see, they are very, very pigmented. I mean, actually, now I swatch it, it does look a lot nicer swatched, I think. So, what have we got? Controversy, Diet Root Beer, My Apology. Yeah, My Apology is actually a lot nicer. It's kind of a dark, rusty red. But you can see they're just really, really pigmented. And then across the bottom, I'm actually quite excited about this row. We've got Exposed, Cancelled, and The Simulation. Exposed, Cancelled, The Simulation. Oh, these blues are very different. I mean, they do look different in the pan, but to have two blues together that are quite bright. There you go. So we've got, I put a little bit more of Exposed on. You've got Exposed, which is the lilac shade there. Cancelled, The Simulation. Cancelled's a really beautiful blue. I can't wait to use that with some of the colours in Blue Blood. And The Simulation, which is kind of like a cobalt. It's a bit foiled. So I'm really excited about that because I can't wait. Actually, I think that just looks so good all over the lid with a little bit of Celebrity Skin in the crease. So it's rubbed the shade slightly, but the markings are still there. So it's really nice. I'm glad I have it. I will actually use it because it's got some great colours in there. It's just not something that I kind of went wow about. I did think that this was lovely, the Conspiracy palette, but again, a little bit out of, you know, it's a bit tame comparison to like some of the stuff that I have over there, but it's beautiful. So that is Mini Controversy, and let's move on to Conspiracy. So we've got Ranch, My Pills, Tanacon, Diet Root Beer, Just a Theory, and Spiraling. And I'm just going to pop them here along my arm. That's the first three. So, yeah, you can see those. That's not too bad, but I've swatched a bit wider than I wanted to. It's because I can't see what I'm doing properly. Diet Root Beer, Just a Theory, Spiraling. We'll try and keep them a bit closer together. Spiraling is very crumbly. There's quite a bit just came off there. So, Diet Root Beer, Just a Theory, and Spiraling. So that is the top row. Pull my jumper right up. Probably going to get the second row in there, and then we might move down here. So the second row we've got Conspiracy, Pigment, Food Videos, Trisha, Cheese Dust, Flamin' Hot. I'm used to that raw already. I really like Conspiracy. Like I said, I've got that one on today. You saw me use that one. It's really, really nice. I will do a separate swatch of this bright yellow. It actually looks really neon in person, but not so much on camera. But, oh, actually, yeah. I think that looks more neon in person. I'm actually really pleased with it. On camera, that doesn't look quite so neon. Conspiracy, Pigment, Food Videos. But at the end, I will put a bit of white on my hand and we will actually test that on white as well. So Trisha, Cheese Dust and Flamin' Hot. Beautiful, beautiful shades. I don't want to go out of sight. I'm going to go here. I can't see what I'm doing, so I hope they went on okay. Oh yes, beautiful. Trisha is a little bit crumbly as well, but really, really stunning. I'm going to stand up. So that is the second row. And that is the first row. So you can see very neutral to brights. The only one that kind of doesn't go with that is the Conspiracy. It's just a bit nudie, but that's fine. Looks really good. So we've got What's the Tea, Diet Cola, It's a Fact, Sleep Paralysis, Illuminati, Here's My Ride. My ride's here. Same concept. Right, let's watch those. Actually, oh, there's some fallout, I don't know if you can see, of pigment in my Diet Cola. But that's okay, it's fine. I think I'm going to do those ones here. This colour, it's just the love of my life at the moment. Beautiful. Again, I've gone a bit wide. But that blue, oh my goodness, I hadn't even swatched it. That is absolutely stunning. I love it. That Diet Cola is really nice. Look how silver and frosty that is. Really love that. And I've used Sleep Paralysis. Obviously you saw me use Illuminati. And Here's My Ride. Sleep Paralysis, I used this on the lid. It's just really unusual. Kind of like a taupe colour with a little bit of gold in it. But that is the bottom row. Oh, the bottom row. The bottom row for me, just, well, the bottom two rows for me, they're just worth it. Honestly, so worth it for the whole palette, honestly. Because let's be honest with each other. I've said honest a bunch of times there. But when you get a palette, do you love every single shade in the palette? It's rare for that to happen. So there's always going to be some shades. So I've got crease shades that I can use, don't use over much. I use these colours to death. I love a base shade and a highlight shade. So for me, those four at the top there are the only ones that I'm like not madly in love with. Everything else in this palette is insane. It's pigmented, it's bright, it's beautiful, it's different. I don't have anything like it in my collection and I absolutely love it. So I am super happy with it. With this one, I love the top three. I love the pastel story. I love the bottom three. I love the purple off the middle. I didn't need another one of these, but it's okay. And I actually quite like that one, that swatch, that one. So I'm super impressed. But that line, yeah. Oh yeah, and this line. This is the cut crease. I think this one's in Canvas. This is from Revolution. So I popped that there. And I'm going to pop on Food Videos on top of that. They're quite dented. You do lose the patterns on them quite quick. But eyeshadow for me is for using. Palettes are for using. Yes, they're very pretty when they come and it's almost like you don't want to touch them. It's like that whole kind of, oh, I don't want to ruin it. But in the same instance, I love eyeshadow. I love wearing it, so I don't want to not. So right, that's just about dry. So I'm going to put some on. I'm actually going to load it up on 2 fingers. So that's them there. So that is the yellow shade. This is on top of white. And this is just on bare skin. Hopefully you can see this is actually so fluorescent in person. It's really beautiful and bright. That is insane. It is like a true neon. Wow. Yeah. Okay, I'm definitely going to be doing a look using that all over the lid on top of white. Fantastic. So, I feel like I've waffled at you for ages. I really apologise, but this is me. This is what I do. I am so excited about makeup and so passionate about it that this is what I do. I'm really sorry if you don't like it, but this is just who I am, and I really hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed watching me play with makeup. I really love this eye look. I think it's beautiful. If I was going out, yes, I'd spend longer on packing it into the crease and blending it, but I really just wanted to show you today how they worked, what they look like on the skin, and this is my go-to look. In fact, those two shades are probably going to be the first just to be totally gone out of this palette. Really, really high recommend. I absolutely love them. Always, always love Jeffree's eyeshadow palettes. Will always... 10 out of 10, 100% highly recommend, because they are just, the quality, you just can't beat it. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm going to go before I just, you know, you're probably asleep now anyway, so I'll just exit this video. And I will see you in the next one, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below about the look that I did, or let me know about any looks that you're doing if you have this, what kind of colours you like together, because I'm always up for hearing about that. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!